Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com, and I'm here to talk about job tips for the zodiac signs Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. And as I've said previously in so many videos, we have a lot going on this year. And there's a little bit extra for you because it's also the year of the rat in Chinese astrology, and that's yin and ruled by water. And so you are water signs, so you're actually getting a double dose of water. And what that means is it could be an emotional time. Now, I'm particularly talking about job tips because we're actually right at the start of job losses, and it doesn't matter which way you paint it, there are still a lot of job losses to come. But in a way, calling it job losses is probably not strictly accurate because it may not be a loss, it may be a win for you. And so we need to look to the possible opportunities and freedoms that come about because you either change your job doesn't exist anymore, or you go on a whole entirely new path like traveling when we can travel, or studying or something, doing something else rather than what you were doing before. So we have so many retrograding planets this year. All of the planets are retrograding, and we have major asteroids retrograding, and we have 6 eclipses. There is a lot going on for anyone to deal with and everyone to deal with. So I thought this was particularly relevant because when I did the horoscopes, I saw so much in every single sign about finances and career. So I thought I'd better address this and do a few extra videos about it. So the thing is, even though it may be an emotional time, particularly for Cancerians, Scorpios and Pisces, that emotions, the emotion that comes up is actually really beneficial because it's releasing blockages out of your physical body. So if you're crying, it's a good thing. You know, the chemical constituents of emotional tears are different to normal tears. So if you cut an onion up, it has a different chemicals compared to if you cry emotionally. Okay, so when you're crying, you're actually releasing toxins from your body at a cellular level. And this can help bring you closer to spirit. Emotions are probably one of the most important key drivers of getting in contact with spiritual energy. Okay, your emotions are like the vehicle to take you there. So you actually have a bonus there on top of, say, the air signs, because they can, or I say they, I'm actually an air sign, I'm a Libran. So we can choose to live in our heads and avoid the emotions, but that actually sets us back. Where with you, dear water signs, that actually propels you forward. So I thought, just thought I'd mention that it's not all a downer. There are some great benefits in being emotional. So I'm going to do a tarot card reading for you to give you some additional tips, if you like. There we go. We'll get onto the right button. And I've already pre-shuffled up the cards before. And I'll do a 5-card spread for all of the water signs together, and just see if what I say and what I pick up relates to you. Leave me a comment and let me know, is it resonating? What I'm saying, is it resonating with you? Okay, so we're going to go to the first card and going with that card there, closing my eyes now. What do I see for water signs? Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. Yes, so I've got the Watchers, the angels called the Watchers, and they usually appear with hoods and cloaks, and that's how I see them. I never see their faces. I don't know why. If you've ever seen in spirit, the watchers, and you've actually seen their faces, let me know. And they never talk to me, but I can see them. And they're often there at times of great transition. So it could be a death, it could be a birth. But in this case, when I'm talking about death and birth, I'm talking in a metaphorical sense. So it's not that I think anybody's going to physically die or anything like that. It's the death of the old cycle and the beginning of a new cycle is what I'm talking about. Okay, so I just want to let you know you're about to start something new. And we come up with the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, see, this is the thing, you know, the focus on money that keeps coming up over and over again. Some of you could sell some property coming up in the next 12 months. There's a house here on the side you can see, and it's actually a cause for celebration. Maybe you need to downsize. You might be rattling around in a big house because your family have all grown up now and it's getting too much to handle. So it could actually be something very beneficial for you where you pay off all your debts and you've got money left over and you're feeling very comfortable. Money coming in. This usually comes in because you've been working on a project for a long time. So it could be a house. You might have been there for 20 years or something and you've added value to that house, and now you're realizing your value or your equity in that house. You see here she's dressed in gold. This relates to the solar plexus, and this is about self-esteem, confidence, goal-oriented behavior, being successful at what you do and being rewarded for it. You could get a bonus, you could get a promotion, you could get a new job that pays more money. I'm also just now psychically picking up several jobs at once, so 2 or 3 jobs that actually suit your lifestyle better because you can work when you want. So it doesn't, it's open slather. The opportunities are there. It's just a matter of picking and choosing what opportunity that you actually want. Because you could decide you don't want to work 9 to 5. I mean, that's boring. I did that when I was in my 20s. I hated it, and all the commuting and all of that carrying on. So working from home can bring you money as well. I see green, I see grass, and it's growing very lush. And there's like cows and sheep and things like that. Maybe you're thinking about going rural, selling up out of the city and going to a rural location. But there's an improvement, whichever way you look at it, there's an improvement in the money situation by really sitting down and strategizing, analyzing. And I know it's hard for water signs, you're all caught in the emotion of it. When you get past venting all of that emotion, you may then start to realize, hey, there's some real benefits here. Okay, if I tweak this and I change that, I can come out ahead in a better position than I was before. Okay, job tips. This one's just jumped out. Don't know if you saw that. It's the 2 of Wands. It jumped out actually before I even started with this video. As I was pre-shuffling the cards, this one jumped out. I think it might be for me too. Okay, you'll see here there's a stone fence down the bottom, a stone wall rather, and this has been restrictive and maybe holding you into a certain area, keep you in your box, But now, all of a sudden, there's a gap and you can step out of the box relatively easily. You still have to put some effort in, but it's much easier than when the stone fence was right up here, you see, full size. Now it's only half size, so you can literally step out of your enclosure. Whatever it is that's been bounding your thoughts, your hopes and dreams, keeping them in a box of some description. You'll see she's got a red cape, not because she's Supergirl. You don't have to be Supergirl, but it does mean action, taking action. And the 2 baseball bats as well. Dressed in blue because she's expressing herself. She's got the earth up here in a blue balloon, and this is about the spiritual reality up in the sky. It's a little reminder. She's burning sage for self-cleansing and maybe cleansing the house and that sort of thing. And it's time to take some action. You could feel the stirrings of some motivation or inspiration, okay? Fiery sorts of flashes of brilliance appearing in your mind, and also your emotions carry you through. Now, Cancerians, I'm picking up something that's to do with relationships. I do get tears around it. The relationship may not necessarily be over, but it is going on to a different level. Okay, so something changing. If this is for you, you'll know. But yeah, it's changing its form. Maybe you see less of each other and it actually works out better for you, because then you're not taking each other for granted or something like that. Okay. And so this is a good card, and there's a certain amount of luck around it if you step out of your restriction, whatever it is, the zone that is holding you back. Okay, looking to the third card now for water signs, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. Yeah, see, Cancer, sorry, I'm stuck on Cancer. Cancerians, we have eclipses going on. So we have an eclipse today if you're in America, and it was yesterday if you're in Australia or in New Zealand. And there's 2 eclipses this month, on the 5th and the 21st, and then there's another eclipse next month. So Cancerians, you're ruled by the moon, so it could be an emotional time right now for you. When we have an eclipse, the effects can last up to 6 months, and with 6 eclipses this year, you can see we're just rolling from issue into issue into issue in order to vent and, you know, let go of all of that energy from the past. Okay, now we're looking at the third card. Okay, going with that card there, closing my eyes, and what do I see for water signs, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces? I see a big butterfly. It's got orange wings, sort of got colours flashing, yellow, orange, red. And orange is, you know, a very creative colour, the colour that goes with the sacral, sorry, there's something coming over the top. There's a big door opening on top of it, and the butterfly has black spots on the wings as well, a big black spot down the bottom of each wing. And orange, I was trying to say, it's very creative, also sexual and reproductive colour. So there could be lots of other little butterflies coming in, and lots of new opportunities, but there's one big opportunity at least. All right, and the King of Cups, here's the yellow and the orange I probably was just seeing. And this is all about feeling your feelings. It's like when you vent and you get it all out, then it's like a sense of relief and you feel better. And this energy here is a very generous, kind sort of energy. He's been around the traps. He knows what he's doing, and he's got a lot of experience and maturity. There's an honesty and integrity with this card. The sky, orange, the sun, the source of all life, insight, awareness, respect, all these sorts of words go with that. You'll see how different that is, because we have the grey clouds and the unknowing and not sure of the direction almost here. You know, there's a cloudy sort of feeling, but here it's clearing. And this is about the solar plexus. I want to say too, even though it's cups, this could have a real physical effect on your body. Perhaps you change your diet, perhaps you change your routine in some way, because I'm getting a real sense around the solar plexus with this energy. But it's all about self-expression, okay? He's sitting on a shell, and he's got a clamshell at the back, and the ocean here of the subconscious is there, and he's on the actual sand on the ground. So he's grounded, he's practical, he's not airy-fairy and up in the clouds, but he is solid and stable. And somebody like this could come into your life and help you, or you could find this energy in yourself. The kings in the tarot are all about the divine masculine, okay? So bringing the divine masculine into your life, because royalty originally were symbols of divinity, and so we all have this energy within. But this is like reigning over your own emotions so that they don't control you, but yet you let them express themselves anyway. Okay, so you're letting them come up, but they're not ruling your life, and you're making logical decisions, you're feeling your emotions, you're practical, and you're in alignment with your own soul. Okay, by the time you get to this level of divinity, everything's in balance. We're all working on it, and some days are better than others. Okay, these two just flew out. Did you see that? Okay, all right. Okay, the Death card and also the Six of Cups. As I said before, when I picked up something about death at the start, this is not physical death, okay? It's not your physical body. It's the death of an era, the death of a stage in life, and the whole world is going through this now. The world will never be the same after we get through COVID. Not only the illness itself, but the economic realities of COVID and all of the other things, the injustice, the inequality, all of these things that have been sitting there and they haven't been dealt with. And so now, of course, things are just exploding with riots and people's anger. And they're rightfully angry for the way they've been mistreated, in the past. It's shocking, really. I don't even know. I just shake my head. I don't understand how it's got to this stage. But I'm in Australia. It's a completely different country down here, completely different world to how we think, to how other countries think, because we tend, and I'm making generalisation here, but we do tend to be more laid back. Yes, we're having, protests and things like that, but we don't have the police brutality of the US. We just don't. Australians just not like that. And if our politicians lie, we laugh at them. That's usually how it goes. Something like that anyway. I'm making generalisations, as I said. So it's the death of an era, and it will be the death of a way of life in which greed has ruled for far too long. And then we have the Six of Cups. These are feelings of abundance, of joy. See the little flowers coming up in the cups down the bottom here. Happiness is restored, growth, opportunity, being in touch with the earth. You see we've got the trees and the ground and the grass here. Being in touch and having respect for the earth and all of her creatures. That's what we need to be looking for, not personal enrichment at the expense of other people. That is going to fall by the wayside because it is not sustainable. It's just logic, really, isn't it? It's not sustainable to live like that. And this is better for all concerned. Which would you rather have? We've got to have this, the death, but that's so that the Six of Cups, abundance, joy, and that joy springs from within, okay? It's not even happiness because you've got physical things. It's this feeling of insight and awareness and happiness, and you finally understand it's just joy at being the essence. You've reached the essence and the core of yourself, okay? Okay, looking at the last card for water signs, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. And what do I see? That card there. Closing my eyes now. Oh, wow. I'm in a room with a whole lot of black snakes writhing on the ground. There must be hundreds and hundreds of snakes here, and they're all slithery. Lucky for me, it doesn't freak me out that much because in Australia we do have snakes. I've probably got hundreds of snakes here, literally on my property. So, I see them from time to time. But I mean, if you're bushwalking or something, you see a snake, it's interesting. But don't pick them up, don't touch them, leave them be, and don't hurt them. So these snakes represent transformation. So if you are Australian, you ever come across a snake in the wild, know that that snake is giving you a message. So thank the snake and ask the snake, what is it trying to tell you? Okay, because they have a message. Metaphorically, snakes mean transformation. Now, you know how snakes grow and grow, and then their skin gets too tight and they burst out of their skin because they're growing, and they leave their skins behind. I often find skins around, hanging around the place. And this is what we're all doing spiritually. We're growing, and our current identity is getting too tight. So it's uncomfortable for the poor snake, and it'll be uncomfortable for us too. And so that snake skin will peel off us as we grow spiritually. So transformation is in the air, and we come up with the 5 of Wands. Look, there could be some competition or some hindrance to that growth. People may not like you growing, okay? Sometimes they don't. And one of the reasons is that as you change, they have to change how they deal with you or how they think about you, and that requires a lot of energy and effort. And the neuronal networks in the brain have to be put down, new neuronal networks, because you're no longer acting how they expect you to act or doing what they expect you to do. So that energy and effort, they don't want to do that, so they've got to go and eat more sugar or something. But just because there's competition or people trying to hinder you from what you're doing, your own inspiration and motivation can carry you through. You can say no, okay? See these fires coming out of her fingertips? This is like hopes and dreams. They're like almost like candles, which are a symbol for hopes and dreams when I see them in spirit. So you can put your hand up and say, no, enough is enough, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and take the action. See the baseball bats here, it's all about taking action. Don't be too concerned about what other people say. Just, say your bit and say, no, this is what I'm doing, and then walk away. Don't have to get involved in an argument or anything like that. Just do what you know you're supposed to be doing, okay? Because now, as I said before, we are coming up for a lot of change over the next 6 months particularly, but even into next year. So water signs, your emotions are to be praised and thanked because they're going to carry you through this time. Cancerians might think of, new careers in counselling, aged or disabled care, maybe cooking, the culinary arts, I don't know anything about that, customer service industries, music, teaching, counselling, or perhaps online sales because you enjoy being at home, generally speaking. The jobs you should avoid are those jobs where you don't get to express your emotions or your empathy. So going into the military might be difficult for you. Jobs without flexibility, particularly if you've got a family you've got to look after, so you need some flexibility in your job. And jobs where rationality takes precedence over your emotions, say for example aviation, flying, being a pilot, because you might find it hard to hide your emotions, okay? And any job where you don't feel like you're making a positive difference to others. As far as Scorpios go, you're ruled by Mars and Pluto, so that's all about action and power. You can exude an aura of mystery, and people are often magnetically and intensely attracted to you. If there's any sort of subterfuge going on, be cautious because you could get drawn into love triangles or risky business. But you do have great concentration and you can work with precision. Scorpios are often intelligent, hardworking and determined. Good jobs are private investigating, negotiation, sex therapy, working in the death industry, law enforcement, crisis management, or medical career. Jobs you should avoid are jobs where you don't get to work alone. Sometimes you need time out away from people sometimes. Anything that involves inordinate amounts of patience, because you can be impatient sometimes, dear Scorps. That's okay. I know about that one. Anything where you can't exert control over your own work, that's really important to you, and you need to be able to express yourself fully. And dear Pisceans, you're naturally drawn towards art, spirituality, metaphysics and music. And because you are the oldest sign in the zodiac, you have wisdom deep down inside you, but sometimes you struggle to find it, but it is there. So meditation is always good for you. Jobs that you might enjoy are artistry, being a musician, creative arts, spirituality based jobs, psychic reading, astrology, healing, colour therapy, welfare, social work. Anything where you can put your listening skills to good use. Human resources, fashion designer, jewellery, home stylist, and jobs in non-profit organisations. Jobs that are not so good for you, Pisces, are those ones that don't give you an outlet for your sensitivity, your intuition or empathy. Any job where you're not free to use your natural instincts. Jobs involving constant analytical work, so you have to be constantly working things out. Jobs with high stress or lots of time deadlines, and jobs with little or no interaction with other people. High pressure sales positions don't suit you either, dear Pisces. Okay, so I'm just going to close my eyes now and do a bit of a psychic summary for the water signs. Yes, so I've got a white door in front of me. This is opening up. This is about opportunities. Inside there are lots of steps, and I can see different flights of steps. It's just a matter of choosing what you're going to do. You may find that there are opportunities, but making the decision as to which way to go. So take a deep breath, because that decision will be an important one, but it just might be hard to decide. You know what? There's no sort of time frame. You don't have to make the decision immediately. Even if you let go of one opportunity, there's more. I can just see heaps of opportunities. It's just deciding which way you're going to go, okay? They're telling me also, I see a pair of scissors here that you need to cut from the past. There's still some baggage there holding you back. And you'll know, because it's anything to do with where you get a emotional response. So you still feel angry, you still feel upset or distressed over something that happened in the past. You're still carrying it, in other words. Cut that cord. Let that ex-partner go. Let that old job go. Let that old friend that let you down. Let them all go, because where you can go is higher than most. And because your emotions are giving you bonus points for spiritual development, especially over the next 18 months or so. And I see this ladder, and it's like climbing up a mountain on a ladder, and you're so very high in the sky with your evolution, and so you really have come a long way. So congratulations on that, dear water signs. Okay, so I hope some of this resonates for you. Please give it a like if it did. If you're new, subscribe to my channel. Even if you're not new and you haven't subscribed, please consider that. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you can be advised of my upcoming videos. Okay, so because I'll be doing a lot more videos now. All right, thanks so much for watching, and leave me a comment. I'm only too pleased to answer all of your comments. Okay, have a wonderful day, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.